It really is, and it's people on the fringes that are the loudest. And these are the ones that are causing people to be most upset and ironically making people lean towards the right. They're saying these people on the left are out of control because the people that are on the left that they're hearing from are the ones that are outrageous. They're not the ones that are reasonable, left of center, and that you just have opinions that most of us believe about civil unions, about gay rights, civil rights, about women's rights, all the different areas that people think of when they think of people on the left. I support all those. Until you get to these far, far left people that are so loud and outrageous and they want to get rid of the police and get rid of the laws and everyone should be a communist. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's making people go right. It's forcing people towards the right and forcing people, ironically, towards Donald Trump. The more people freak the fuck out over here, the more they go, who is going to protect us from this shit? Well, it's that guy. He's the only guy. And it's crazy.
The number of friends of mine in America who are saying exactly this privately at the moment. I don't know anyone who says, well, maybe I know a couple, but I don't know very many people who say, I just love Donald Trump and everything about him, and his character is just so good, and his just he's just obviously the sort of person I'd like my children to grow up to want to be. Nobody says that.
No. I think they look at him in the same way a lot of people on the left, at least up until recently, were looking at Antifa. A lot of people on the left were looking at Antifa like they're doing our dirty work. They're the hard, far left people. They are pushing it so far that'll make room for my ideology because they'll clear the path and they'll silence and eliminate all these horrible right-wing people that I don't agree with. I think they think that about Trump. They're like, he's not my guy. I don't think the way he thinks, but that guy's not going to let that shit fly. And he's going to step in, and he might be a liar, and he might be full of shit, and he might have done terrible things in business, and he might have lied about the destructive consequences of COVID and all these other issues that people have problems with him. But at least he's not those guys.
Yeah. I mean, on almost any issue, this is the case. I mean, there was this in the John Bolton memoir. There's this rather hair-raising story of President Trump talking with our then Prime Minister, and it becomes clear that Donald Trump doesn't know that the UK is a nuclear power.
What does he say? What does he say?
He said, "Oh, it's an unbelievable exchange." He's standing in Chequers, the country house of the British Prime Minister. The Russians had just done this Novichok attack in Salisbury. They took out his former agent and his daughter with this unbelievably, toxic nerve agent.
That was the doorknob, right? They put it on the doorknob. Yes.
It was classic, KGB tactics. You use the most dangerous biological weapon in order to demonstrate that you can.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and that had just happened in the cathedral city of Salisbury. Theresa May, the then Prime Minister, says to Donald Trump in Chequers, Mr. President, I'd like to remind you that we in Britain regard this as a WMD attack. And what's more, she says, looking at him meaningfully, a WMD attack on a nuclear power. And Donald Trump turns to one of the other people with Theresa May and says, have you got nukes? It's striking. Anyhow, the point about this is that you hear this sort of story and you think, well, that's shocking, but not that surprising. And then you think, but anyway, look what else is being offered. And this thought is just obviously going through everyone's minds because the left in America has screwed up so badly. They could have. It's so striking to me as an outsider. They could have spent the last 4 years saying, how did this person with all of these character traits that we're sort of agreed on that we don't like and with lots of downsides and things, how did he win anyway? And they could have looked at that and worked so much out. And instead you've had 4 wasted years of, frankly, bullshit claims that have wasted everyone's time. We, by the way, have had something very similar in Britain, but it's horrifying for an outsider to see this.
I think they thought those claims were going to work. I think they thought the Russia scandal was going to work. I think they thought his affairs were going to ruin him. I think they thought all these various chess pieces that they moved into position, that they thought they were at checkmate multiple times. And he's like, nope, fuck you. And they're like, what? Yeah. And he just keeps on keeping on. And I just don't think they I don't think they correctly estimated his resilience, nor did they estimate the way people who support him would view him. And I think there's a lot of people that don't agree with him, don't like his tactics, don't like his personality, but they see him as the preferable alternative to what's going on in Portland, what's going on in Seattle, and what happens when you get lawlessness.
I mean, it's not even like he's very good and effective at what he claims to want to do. You know, that's the most obvious critique of him is, you know, he'll tweet something, but he won't act on it. You know, he knows one big lever to pull, but he's got no idea of how to work out the intricacies of all the little levers you need to know about to run an effective administration. And that's a like reasonable critique, and everyone can see it. There seems to be some problem. You know, he finds it very hard. You know, one can't help noticing that job retention is a problem in the White House.
That's a nice way of putting it.
You know, the average length of employment is
like a month.
It's like a month. But the point is, even despite that, because of what the left has done and what it's allowed to happen, what it's allowed to rush through, we now see people who know every single critique you can make of Donald J. Trump and will still vote for him.